EdTalks here with Ed and my friend Jess Jorgensen. Jess, welcome to EdTalks.
Hi, Ed. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's great to reconnect because you and I have known each other for a while, and it's been just fun watching your career grow and grow and grow. And today you are the GM Worldwide Industries for NetApp, and you've been with NetApp for quite some time too, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going on my 14th year or something like that.
Wow. And I think we first met like when you had first joined, maybe a year or two into it, and I just always admired you and liked you for who you were as a person and as well as your leadership. So I want to definitely break that down a little bit on the leadership side, and maybe start off with this because a lot of our audience, are women, but also men, obviously both together, and both have questions like, and you're one of the pioneers of women in healthcare tech leadership. I mean, you've ascended to the highest levels, and tell us a little bit about that journey of getting to where you are today.
Oh, my goodness. Well, today I have the fortunate privilege to work with 20 and 30-year veterans from different industries, right? They come out of industry. And the company that I work for, NetApp, is very committed to solving customer problems and challenges, right? And creating solutions that help make their customers successful. So I am surrounded by this plethora of deep domain expertise. So I feel super fortunate to be sort of the lowest common denominator on a team of experts,
Yeah.
right? So maybe my success is largely due in part to their expertise, right?
Yeah.
And just a wonderful team that I have the privilege of serving.
Yeah. That's cool. And yeah, you're right. Your success is really determined by the people around you. So that's really key. So tell us, what advice would you have? And I'm going to ask for both, speaking to men, but first to women. What advice would you have to a woman who is earlier in their career and would love to aspire to be a leader like yourself in healthcare technology? What would you tell them?
Raise your hand,
Mm.
step forward right
Yeah.
away, right? I think that was one of the things that I'm not going to say held me back, but I think it was the fear of being judged, potentially, the
Yeah.
fear of possibly failing, right? But what I've learned much later in life, right? As you said, I'm a pioneer and today's my birthday. So, double nickel here.
Uh,
Um, what I can say looking back on my career, I wish I would have raised my hand earlier and
mm.
said, yes, I can do that, right? Give
Say,
give me
yeah.
the shot, right?
Yeah. Love it.
And I think sometimes we sit and we wait, and this is non-gender specific, right?
True. Absolutely.
But I think sometimes we sit and wait to be recognized when leaders really step forward, because at the heart of leadership is a person that really wants to make a difference.
Yeah.
So they take that first step,
Love it.
right?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a lot of fear, and you just have to let go of the ledge in order to soar.
Yeah. No, that's Jess. That's very well said. And yes, happy birthday, double nickels. I wouldn't have never guessed, but I appreciate you taking the time to be with us on your birthday. So thank you. And what about men? Is there anything specific that men might need to know? That maybe times have changed. I don't know. I'm keep a really open mind about it, but is there something men can do to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity to ascend to these highest of positions?
Well, that's a really interesting question. In tech, and then being a woman in tech very early in career, right? It was a very male oriented and dominated industry. And, what I would say is this: I have had amazing male mentors, I've had amazing male sponsors. And I think, regardless of gender, a young woman in career needs sponsorship and
Yeah.
they need mentorship. And it, it doesn't need to be gender specific, first and foremost. But, a couple years back, right, we had this Me Too movement, this whole thing. I have really mixed feelings a little bit about that. I feel like maybe it set us back from a gender perspective a little bit, because now there's maybe a sensitivity men might not have had before. Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, what could you do or another gentleman do to make women feel or diversity candidates feel more included is time. Give them your time.
Yeah.
Give them your honest feedback, right? In a caring way, in a way that shows you want to bring them up, not in a sort of a constructive way, right? The invitation, give them the invitation.
Yeah.
I'm not the best golfer. I might take up 1 out of 10 times I'm invited to golf, right? But I do appreciate the invitation. I
Yeah.
super appreciate it. It means the world. Just the invitation alone. And to do it in a way that is comfortable, right? That invitation has to be comfortable to the person inviting that person, but in an appropriate situation, right? But I think it's the time, it's the mentorship, and then it's the invitation, really.
Yeah. Those are all great ideas that all of us should take heed and implement if we're not already. Jess, I'll end with another question related to your success as a leader. Surely there's been times where things didn't go perfectly. Can you share maybe one event that happened and what you learned from it?
I'd much rather talk about my successes, Ed, but,
Well, we don't have
failure,
enough time. We don't have enough time for that. It would take too long.
I think I kind of talked about it when we first started, and that was not stepping forward.
Yeah.
That's probably been the biggest failure of my career is not stepping forward sooner
Mhm.
and just, being sort of fearless about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to operate without fear, that's super hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But the people around you, what I've found, Ed, and you know this to be true, at the heart of all people is goodness. And so our own fears of failure, they don't really exist in the eyes of other people. Other
Yeah.
people really want to surround you and support you and raise you up. So, I believe that you don't have to have a title to lead. That's number one. I also believe that everybody can lead from their own light. Everybody has a light inside of them. And, you know, whether it's a passion, whether it's domain expertise, whether it's a God-given gift, we all have this little light inside. And when we start to embrace our light, people are attracted to the energy, right? They're attracted to the light, and our light grows even bigger. And when we share our light with other people, that's when true leadership starts to come about, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Sharing our light, and people are just attracted to that energy. So I would just have to say, the more authentically you can live who you are, the natural leader you kind of become, right?
Yeah. I like that. Jess, you're an amazing individual, friend, leader. Thank you for being part of EDTalks. We'll drop your LinkedIn contact information in the show notes so people can connect with you and learn more about you. But thank you so much for being on EDTalks, especially on your double nickel birthday.
Well, Ed, anything for you. You've been a dear friend all these years.